We are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben, live from Florida. My friends, today is a chit show. As promised last Friday, we have the UK in absolute turmoil. We have the global markets absolutely in turmoil. Yeah. We have futures up. We have the Dow down. We have everything going to shit. And there's our lovely, lovely Bitcoin staying steady. We have a group of elite on the left, a group of, I don't want to call them elites more than, I guess, leaders on the right who are now starting to figure out, hey, wait a second, there's something fishy going on here. No shit. Wait, you mean to tell me that there's something fishy with the markets? There's something odd with the markets? Yeah. See, we live in a world now over in the UK. Listen to this and tell me this isn't a recipe for the Holocaust. I hate to use that word, but it's true. They are preparing the UK for a Holocaustic scenario. If you know anything about the Holocaust, that's World War II, German, and there's been several other Holocausts. There have been the German Holocaust, the Ukrainian Holocaust, you could almost say the Eurasian Holocaust. What's the one thing they all have in common? They're caused by government. Bingo. See, remember, after those of you old enough to remember this, remember after 9/11, the whole saying was, we will never forget. We will never forget. Well, guess what they've done? They've forgotten. Right? After World War I, mind you, the original name of World War I was the war to end all wars. Well, that name didn't hold up, hence World War II. See, World War II never ended. It just jumped to different countries. See, there's a guy out there named Jordan Peterson. Now, Jordan Peterson is an academic. He's a sociologist, which means he studies social behaviors. And he's very, very intelligent. He did an interview with a guy over in the UK. The guy over in the UK was explaining eugenics. And they came to the conclusion that this strangely seems like we hate to say it, but it's almost like they're trying to depopulate the world. What? Wait. But why would governments do that? So they started talking about Marxism and Maoism and World War I, World War II. The guy from the UK made a great analysis of World War II, World War I, Chairman Mao, and all of the other communist, socialist leaders of the last 150 years. This is the only other guy that I've heard, other than me and Glenn Beck, like him or hate him. He was on this years ago. Glenn Beck was actually talking about eugenics and the Tide Foundation years ago. I mean 2009, 2010. Exactly, back on Fox. Exactly. Ernest Lee. Yep. And if you want to know who's at the heart, what is the heart that pushes all of this? Look up a foundation called the Tides Foundation. I am proudly one of the only people blocked by the Tides Foundation on Twitter. Because what they are is they are a focal point for NGOs, non-governmental organizations. And a lot of the non-governmental organizations are like the World Economic Forum, a lot of the foundations, the Bill and Melinda Gates foundations. See, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, you know, the everyone needs a job type of foundation. They have purchased more farmland than anyone else in America. And you know what they're doing to the farmland? They're taking it out of production. They're no longer farming it. See, this has been 100-year plan, at least. Actually started in 1880. Well, we can go a little further back than that. For everyone who thinks Abraham Lincoln was a good guy, Abraham Lincoln was one of the original progressives in America. And the financial people, the European people behind Abraham Lincoln. See, a lot of people don't realize Abraham Lincoln and his campaign was funded by Europe. It was funded by what was then the Bank of England remnants and the king of England. All right. And the Fabian Society. Now, all right, I'm going to go through this. Oh, please. Yes, thank you. 24 likes versus 108 watching. Go ahead and smash those likes, slackers. Like and subscribe to the channel helps out a ton. So, we have in the middle 1800s, we have what was known commonly as the Illuminati. Now, the Illuminati, as they were called, George Washington took on the Illuminati. The Illuminati was a group of wealthy people in the church and in the banking structure. They arose during the Age of Enlightenment. That's why they were called the Illuminati. Right? We have people today who have no idea, or when you say the Illuminati, they're like, oh, conspiracy theorist. George Washington wrote letters about the Illuminati. See, the first American war that we went through was a war with the Illuminati and the Muslims. See, the Illuminati had hired pirates. The pirates were Muslim pirates. They were in it for the money. All right? Yes. All right. The Khazarian Mafia is what is left of, well, the Khazarian Mafia, all right, claim to be Jewish, but they're not Jewish. They don't originate from any of the tribes of Israel. They're actually Germans. They're actually German pirates almost. But they took on the religion of Judaism years ago. Exactly. George Soros says he's Jewish. Sorry, George, you're not Jewish, bro. All right, yes. It's Transylvania is near where the Khazarian mafia originated, hence the Bloodsuckers. All right. Yes, it's this is a long history of lies. See, history has been altered. History has been changed. History has been erased. History has been remanufactured. See, the point that I want to make is the point that Jordan and the guy from the UK, by the way, I will be posting that interview and we will be talking about it. All right, we will be talking about it more on Wednesday. Because on Wednesday's 3-hour Patreon show, half of it is going to be a history lesson on how the hell we got here. The other half is going to be how the hell do we make money in this environment? See, there's ways to do it. And folks, I know history. When we go through one of these big global shifts, there's a way to get super rich, super easy, because you're going into a transition into a new global network. The key is investing in the way, just the peak of the wave, and absorbing all of that economic energy as that technological and monetary wave hits the shore of the populace. Right? You know how few people owned gold whenever gold was established as the world currency backer? You know how few people owned gold? Very, very few. We still lived in an agriculture world. Right? Gold wasn't officially the global exchange of value for let's see, 18, no, like 1905, 1904. That's when it was officially agreed upon that gold would be the world governmental exchange of value. Mind you, I said governmental. Prior to that, you know what it was? Silver. Silver was the original global, not dictated by governments, but actually agreed upon amongst industry. See, who here knows anything about Theodore Roosevelt? Anybody? You speak softly, but carry a big stick. All right? That's Theodore Roosevelt. All right? He actually launched a political party called the Bull Moose Party. The Bull Moose Party was the original progressive party. That was the split of the Republican Party. The Republican Party split from communist light to all-out progressive socialism. All right. Now, the Bull Moose Party and old Teddy Roosevelt went after the trust. Remember, Teddy Roosevelt was the trust buster. Oh, we have to go after those Rockefellers. We got to go after all these rich people. Anybody hear lately how it's smart to put your assets into a trust? Right. So it's smart to put your assets into a trust. Yeah, you know why? Because under common law, a trust is a separate entity than a human. All right. What Teddy Roosevelt did was he went after the trust of the wealthy because they had more power than the government. See, Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, listen to this shit. At one point, J.P. Morgan held one out of every $6. Think about that. Do you know how rich you'd have to be to hold one out of every $6? Now, mind you, the all all of America, right? Very few people had any money in the 1700s. And I mean tangible dollars, right? Dollars, U.S. currency. Very few people had dollars. A lot of people had change, like nickels and dimes, and very few people had dollars. Dollars were like $100 bills back then. You know, if you had $1, you had yourself something back in the day. Hell, when I was a kid, we got $1. That's a bag of candy. You got $1 now, you can't even buy half a Skittle. Not even a whole Skittle. Half a Skittle for $1. But most of America didn't deal in dollars. They dealed in coinage. That's why silver was the metal of commerce, right? The dollar, which the word dollar originates from the word dinar. It's a Spanish coin, right? The American dollar origination was from the Spanish dinar, and the Dixie dollar, dinar, came from Spain. See, now, I live in Florida now. Florida has a wicked history. I mean, Florida has a history that most people don't realize. Did you know the first American city in America was in Florida? It was St. Augustine, right? Oh, they founded St. Augustine, Florida, 80 years before Plymouth Rock. The Pilgrims landed 80 years after St. Augustine in Florida. It's the oldest American city. It was founded by the Spanish. All right. Our history, the history of the American people know is all bullshit. All right. All of it. Exactly. Because the English wrote the history books. Exactly. Question. Hey, Ben, how do you like Florida over St. Louis? Let me do a little sidebar before we bring in the sponsors. Sidebar. I love Florida over St. Louis. Mind you, I still have a house in St. Louis. St. Louis will always be my hometown. Always be. But Florida, my wife and I, yesterday, let me tell you about our day. We woke up, went out and grabbed breakfast at a delicious breakfast place right down the road here. Then we went to the YMCA and we played racquetball. Advice for fat guys like myself. Racquetball is a racket. It will whoop your ass. My knees were screaming for me to get the hell off them. My feet looked like I had fuzzy animal feet slippers on. They swelled up so much. See, a fat guy and exercise sounds like a good combination, but it's not fun for the fat guy. I'm just saying. Then we came home. Then guess what we did? We went out, we got in our pool. We laid in the pool. I was out there having a few adult beverages. My wife was out there lounging in the lounge chair, reading her book. I made some barbecue out there on the lanai, and we had barbecue out in our lanai while we watched our favorite show outside by the pool. When you ask me, Ben, how do I like Florida versus St. Louis? St. Louis ain't got shit on Florida. Florida is the place to be, y'all. Can you see how tan I am? You thought I was sexy when I was Midwest white? Look at me now. Bingo. In the winter here in Florida, the highs are in the 70s. I can deal with that. This is, now I know why the Spanish landed their ass in Florida, because Plymouth Rock sucked compared to Florida. See, the Spanish were smart. They're like, where do we want to set up the first city? You know what? Let's do it down here where it's warm. The dumbass white boys and white girls, the Puritans, said, where shall we land our craft? How about right near a frickin' iceberg? Don't assume all white people are smart. They're not. See, if the Pilgrims would have landed down here in Florida, we wouldn't have Thanksgiving, folks. We'd have jerk chicken day. That's what we would have. Jerk chicken day would replace Thanksgiving. I'm just saying. and I'd be okay with it. Okay, quick word from the sponsor, CALIX Solutions.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
And we're back. All right, now let's jump right back into it. Oh, by the way, FYI, and this is a precursor, we are now at CALIX Solutions. When you buy a laptop from us, a crypto-only laptop, or another laptop that will be announced soon, hint, hint, wink, wink. When you buy a laptop, you get a lifetime membership to our security and help area on our website. You get a lifetime membership. So you buy one laptop, you have a membership for life on our security portal. And there, let's just say there will be a lot of very good things in there. Oh, we shall see, my friends. We shall see. So now, as I was saying, we are now moving into the part of the Great Reset. See, the Great Reset has been going for 100 years. People think, oh, Bamboo Ben, you ain't lying, brother. CALIX customer support is going to be top notch. Stay tuned, family. Absolutely, brother. He knows what's going on. He's an employee at CALIX Solutions. We hold him in high regards, and him and I are also business partners, shall we say, in a little radio venture. More to be announced later. So, I digress. We are in the Great Reset. This is the final finale flip, the final finale flip of the Great Reset. This is where they have it all set up, so they think. And they're ready to flip the switch. You know what the switch is? This winter, oh my friends, this winter is going to be bad. Now, if you have seen Cliff High's videos in the past, and you have listened to Cliff High, He is explaining an ice age that's coming. That is true. We are entering a solar minimum, or we're already there, technically. The reaction of the Earth to the solar minimum is this winter. Earlier, I saw someone in the chat who said, "Hey, I woke up to a sheet of snow. I love an early snow," or something like that. You better get used to it. See, Florida, there's a reason I moved to Florida. This winter, folks, we ain't seen the beginning of inflation. Did anyone see the report last Friday from the government? The inflation report? Yeah, not good, folks. Bad damn news. For some reason, we can't get this inflation down. Those of you old enough to remember this will remember this. In the early 80s, they jacked the federal interest rate up to 20%, or I think 18. Was it 18 or 20? It was damn high. All right. When the Federal Reserve, if the interest, or if the inflation rate is, hypothetically, let's say they're telling the truth, and the inflation rate is 8.3, the Fed's funds rate has to be at least 9.3. We're at 4.75. See, because to draw in more capital than the inflation rate, the drawing rate has to be higher than the inflation rate. You see what I'm saying? So anybody who thinks that the Fed interest rate at 4.75 is going to do jack shit to an inflation rate that is advertised at 8.3. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say that you have a pool, and you're adding eight 830 gallons of water to the pool every hour. But at the same time, you're draining 4.75 gallons of water out of that pool. So let's see, you're adding supposedly 8.3, but your drain rate is 4.75. Not going to happen, folks. That means you're still stimulating the pool. You're still filling the pool with what? 4.4 4.4 gallons of water per month. That's why in the early 80s, Volcker had to jump the interest rate up to 20% because the real inflation rate was like 14. If he wanted any hope of salvaging the dollar, he had to post an interest rate higher than the inflation rate. So you're actually pulling money out of the economy. Hence, why in the early 80s, housing and the interest rate on a house was ridiculous. Right? Everything that has happened before. Have you guys seen this new wave of these like mini houses? Little mini houses. Oh, they're so cute. They're 145 square feet and they're only $30,000. What a deal. You can be a homeowner for $30,000. You know what those are? Those are the 1960 trailers that came out. Remember the trailer parks? We all know trailer parks. We've all seen them. Trailer parks. Yeah, those were the tiny homes of their era when people couldn't afford a house. Well, you can't afford a house, but we can sell you a fucking closet with a roof and call it a mini home. And there are dipshits that are buying these. I'm a minimalist. No, you're not a minimalist. You're a broke-assist. I feel as if my carbon footprint should only be about 180 to 250 square feet. I know dogs who have bigger dog houses than that. I know chicken coops that are bigger than that. Right? You're sleeping in a fucking tree house without the tree. It's a tree. Just accept it. Don't be ashamed. It's a tree house without a fucking tree. you're getting robbed of not being able to live in a tree. Right? At least if your house was in a tree, you could get a cool zip line and zip line your ass out every morning, right to the door of your electric vehicle, right to the door of your Prius. You could go from your magical carbon-friendly, tree house right to the door of your Prius with the zip line. People, you're living in the 2022 version of a trailer park. And what's sad, they're smaller than trailers. Now, for the first time in history, someone who is the proud owner of a single wide has somebody to point at and laugh at. The rednecks, the Hoosiers, the white trash people who live in single wide 1971 trailers now have someone to point to and laugh at. And it's you, little house owner. You paid $40,000 for something you could have bought at Home Depot for $1,800. My friends, stupidity has run amok amongst humanity. See, back in the day, the stupid people were obvious. You knew who the stupid people were. They were pretty easy to point out. Now, the stupid people have college degrees, and they're living in little baby houses or in little baby trailer parks with their Shih Tzu dogs with one eye because they decided to go get them not from a breeder, from some other place that sells one-eyed dogs. I don't understand people's mentality anymore. In the old days, the slogan was that you wanted to be better. I want to be better. The slogan was, you raised your children so that your children would have a better life than you. Well, we did that, and now a lot of our children are dumbasses living in tree houses on the ground with college degrees. The reason they can only afford a $40,000 little house is because they have a $150,000 college loan for a piece of paper that can barely get them a job at Walmart as a greeter. Whatever shall we do? Well, I'll tell you what we do. We win. My friends, listen to me as I tell you this. And this is the God's honest truth. And I swear you can ask other success. Ask, which side am I on? Wait, no, yeah, wait. Ask people in the chat. Ask successful people. How easy is it right now to be successful as an entrepreneur? They will tell you this is the easiest time they've ever had making money. You know why? Because there are so little people out there doing it. There's no competition. There's no competition out there for the entrepreneur. And in cryptos, there's even less competition. Listen to me, folks. Click the link under here. This Wednesday night, I'm doing a 3-hour, like I do every Wednesday night now. 3-hour, half history, half entrepreneur video on the entrepreneur level of my Patreon. Click the link under here right now and go join my Patreon. I have it laid out there on how you make money. It's the shareable economy. It's the founders group. It's the silver company I just launched. We're still looking for you. Join our silver company and you are a licensed, branded silver company. You're like a franchise with me. You get to use all of my branding. Licensed. Voila. There you go. Click the link under here. Join the Patreon. Watch last week's show, and this week's show on Wednesday. Everybody, I got to get out of here. I got business to do. Love you guys. No laying by the pool today. Love you guys. See you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Central. Love you guys. See you then. Bye-bye.